Speaking of racist, this is a fun story. A former Breitbart editor, what's her name again? McHugh. Katie McHugh. She would coordinate with our own Stephen Miller, and by our own, I mean one of the top advisors to the President of the United States. Oh, yeah. And, oh, yeah.
We don't want this one.
A member of the tribe, although, you know, there's always some of those who are outliers. Apparently, he directed TPS policy. This is the TPS is the temporary protected status for people who are here because there was a natural disaster in their country or there was a civil war, and then they come here, they can't go back, their houses have been destroyed, or they can't go back because their life is being threatened, and they start to build lives here, and obviously they don't get any special favors, but they get to live here and they build lives, and you know, you have people here 10, 12 years after, like, the I don't know, Haitian earthquake is an example. I mean, there's plenty of examples. And Steve Miller had a real problem with this because those people are not coming from countries that are predominantly white. And so, well, listen to what Katie McHugh said. Apparently, not only do we know that Stephen Miller is a white supremacist, but this former Breitbart editor who said that she sort of like fell into racism this way and got sort of like radicalized to white supremacy. So the Stephen Miller directed this policy via the white supremacist website VDare. Check this out.
And just before Miller heads off to work for the Trump campaign in 2016, he touts what he saw as the danger of allowing hurricane victims from Mexico to come to the U.S. They will all get TPS. That's temporary protection status. That needs to be the weekend's big story. TPS is everything, he says, and sends McHugh an article on the dangers of TPS from a prominent white nationalist website. Did he want you to parrot a white nationalist website?
Yes, he did. It was understood that Miller had editorial control over the political section of Breitbart News.
Well after Miller joined Trump's inner circle, the U.S. ended TPS status for several countries.
That's, you know, that nexus, you know, and Miller at that time was working for Sessions, right?
Yes.
I mean, then it starts to become clear how, like, what this web of people, like how these people show up there. It is basically because Miller's working for Bannon, and Miller also is working for Sessions, and Sessions is the first person in the Senate to endorse Donald Trump. And all these guys, they're all working on this project of making America whiter again.
And all of that Breitbart coverage about Mexico is, I mean, that is the whole sort of progenitor in some ways of what Trump was able to do. They had been some of the most
It's probably where he got the idea, too.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's synchronized. And he's the nexus point. He's the still, I mean, even with this administration as it is, he still hasn't been fired. Just on, like, I mean, you're talking about everybody leaves just because it's, you know, full of crazy, insane, toxic people. He's still there.
I'm convinced he's the one who wrote that letter, the impeachment letter. That's what people are reporting. Meanwhile,